Project Appleseed. Anyone here ever gone to Project Appleseed? Are the Appleseed classes good firearms training or just some political Tupperware party gimmick? I projected my seed into your mom last night. They're a white supremacist militia/prepper organization with La American Revolution as plausible deniability. It's very problematic, especially considering they are indoctrinating children too. Would avoid. You can learn to shoot the same at your local indoor range. I'm sold. Where do I join? The coolest thing ever. Fucking sweet. Anyone ever gone to Project Appleseed? No, though I've been interested in trying out one of the rifle clinics. But I live in a small state, and last year the only course available was the rimfire one like 2 hours away, and I wasn't interested in going far just for that. This year there are 2 rifle courses and both closer too. But unfortunately they are right in the middle of my first vacation trip in like 5 years. Bad luck. So I guess not until next year. And I do like that they're extremely reasonable and relaxed in terms of bringing what you've got. They're fine with suppressors, irons, or scope. Whatever. No fuddy rules. I'll never buy a gun just for a training course. I want to train with what I've already got. Since it won't happen until next year, I might pick up a barrel in a cheaper caliber before then. I was considering that anyway. You do you, Anon. Just don't say I didn't warn you. The whole org turns out to be filled with glowies or insufferable sovereign citizen types. Not either of those Anons. But this isn't the experience I've known at all. The rule of no politics after 1789 is followed fine. It's a normal positive course by people who clearly enjoy the art and sport of firearms and are really trying to get the regular public to have a positive experience too. Like shit, even the Reddit gun liberals seem to like them fine. Dunno, given they're a national non-profit, that really encourages people to volunteer and chip in to run more courses. I'm sure there's variation by the state. Maybe the courses in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont are somewhat different in feel than those in Alabama or Virginia or Texas. But if you're just there for what it says, don't see the problem. I've been to multiple Appleseed clinics. The training is good. The intro clinic teaches you how to use a sling to shoot semi-auto .22 rifle at 25 meters from standing, sitting/kneeling, and prone. There is no bipod usage allowed. Don't expect to make riflemen on the first weekend unless you have practiced quite a bit with the loop sling and with transitions from standing to sitting or prone. You may be able to use a center fire rifle for the 25-meter Appleseed, but at most locations I believe it's 22 only. They used to actually have a firing line full of ARs and SKSs and M1As long ago, but now the center fires are mostly used during the 400-yard KD clinic. They also have Pistol Seed, a rimfire event out to 200 yards, and a centerfire clinic at 400 yards. They do talk about Revolutionary War history in every Appleseed. At an Appleseed event, they don't talk about party politics, nor will they try to recruit you into any organization other than Appleseed RWVA. But then, keeping the history of Lexington and Concord alive touches on politics. Shooting at the army of the British King for purposes of resisting oppression and self-determination was political. The idea of taking up arms against a tyrannical government is political. The idea behind Appleseed is that it is a good thing to have an armed and trained population, connected with its founding history. In other words, they're supporting the general concept of armed resistance to tyranny at some theoretical point. Keeping it somewhat abstract and connected to history allows them to train a wider variety of people, including pro-gun Democrats. Of course, anti-gunners and those who believe armed resistance to government is never justified are probably not going to show up to an Appleseed. An Appleseed rifle, Bergara BXR, track 22 fire 4 to 12 times scope, 15 round 1022 magazines, USGI cotton web sling, a real Appleseed rifle. I wonder how many people know that Applesneed originated with a guy who hawked M14 stocks and wrote rambling screeds in Shotgun News. He was like a dinosaur from the old conspiracy culture, still ranting well into the 2010s about how the UN was going to occupy America with troops from former Warsaw Pact countries, and you needed to be a real rifleman with an M14 to punch through blue helmets and BMPs. Now that sounds interesting. Can you link or screenshot some of these articles? It was called Fred's M14 Stocks. I don't think there are any archives of old shotgun news issues anywhere, but he was very proud of this story and published excerpts from it in his ads from time to time. You can buy poorly photocopied and stapled copies for $5 each on his website. Minimum order $75 though. I mistakenly wrote earlier that Appleseed is shot at 25 yards. It's actually 25 meters. Here's the course of fire to pass. Hitting 210 out of 250 is the goal. Getting down in stages 2 and 3 and getting NPOA established. Then getting all shots off in time but not rushing it too much is the most difficult part for me. By order of the Crown, surrender your Ruger 1022s at once!